The boy from Bondy, Kylian Mbappé Lawton, was born on December 20th, 1998. A winter child, cold air, hard ground, no shortcuts. His father, Wilfried, was a football coach, not famous, not rich, but disciplined, focused, relentless. His mother, Faiza, was a professional handball player. Speed ran in her blood, so did competitiveness. In that small apartment, football was not entertainment, it was education. Kylian didn't grow up dreaming of fame. He grew up learning responsibility. Every training session mattered. Every mistake was corrected. Every success was controlled. While other children played for fun, Kylian played to improve. And Bondy noticed. Speed isn't talent. Discipline is. From the first time he touched the ball, something was different. Not the skill, not the tricks. It was the movement. Kylian ran like he was chasing something invisible, like he knew time was limited. Opponents couldn't catch him. Coaches couldn't ignore him. But his father kept repeating one sentence. Speed will get you noticed. Discipline will keep you there. So while others celebrated goals, Kylian analyzed them. Why did it work? How could it be faster? What could be done better? At Clairefontaine, France's most prestigious football academy, he was surrounded by talent. For the first time, he wasn't the fastest by default. He wasn't the most gifted by default. And that's when something dangerous happened. He worked harder. Monaco. The explosion. No one stopped, as Monaco was supposed to be the place where history began. But football doesn't follow plans. At 16 years old, Kylian made his professional debut. No fear, no hesitation, just belief. Then came the goals. Then came the Champions League nights. Then came the moment Europe woke up. Defenders backed away. Goalkeepers guessed early. Crowds leaned forward. He wasn't playing like a teenager. He was playing like someone who knew his ending. In the 201,617 season, Monaco shocked Europe. And Mbappé wasn't part of the story. He was the story. World Cup destiny. Some players wait their whole lives for a World Cup moment. Kylian Mbappé was 19. Russia, 2018. The pressure crushed experienced stars. But it fueled him. Against Argentina, he ran through defenders like history didn't apply to him. 2 goals, a penalty, a warning. In the final, under the heaviest lights football can offer, he scored again. Teenage Mbappé, world champion. And suddenly, the world stopped asking who he was and started asking how far he could go. PSG, power, pressure, and isolation. Paris Saint-Germain paid for a superstar. But they received a symbol. Money arrived. Fame arrived. Expectations arrived faster than defenders ever did. Every decision became political. Every silence became a headline. He scored. He assisted. He dominated. And still, it wasn't enough. Critics questioned his loyalty. Fans questioned his ambition. The media questioned his ego. But inside, Mbappé remained the same boy from Bondy. Focused, quiet, hungry. The weight of being the future. Being called the future of football sounds like praise. In reality, it's a burden. Every missed chance becomes betrayal. Every trophy without Europe becomes failure. Mbappé learned something important. Greatness is lonely. He stopped explaining himself, stopped reacting, stopped defending. He let his football speak. And it spoke loudly. Legacy still loading. Records fell. Goals piled up. History kept asking questions. Will he leave? Will he stay? Will he define an era? Mbappé never answered. Because legends don't argue with time. They let time follow them. Epilogue. Born to run. Kylian Mbappé was never just fast. He was driven. Driven by structure. Driven by discipline. Driven by a quiet belief built in Bondy. And the world was watching closely. Silence is a weapon. As the noise around him grew louder, Mbappé did something unexpected. He became quieter. No interviews, no explanations, no public fights. While others defended their image, he defended his focus. Training sessions became longer. Recovery became obsession. Details became religion. Speed was no longer enough. He studied positioning, timing, decision-making. He wasn't just running anymore. He was thinking at full speed. Leadership without the armband. Leadership doesn't always shout. Sometimes it arrives early to training. Sometimes it stays late. Sometimes it performs when excuses are easiest. Mbappé became that presence. Younger players watched him. Veterans respected him. Opponents prepared for him. Not because he spoke loudly, but because he delivered consistently. In the biggest games, when tension froze legs, his didn't shake. The pain no one sees. Every sprint leaves scars. Every season takes something. Minor injuries, mental fatigue, public pressure. There were nights when sleep didn't come easily. When criticism echoed louder than applause. But he never showed it. Because the boy from Bondy learned early. Weakness is private. Strength is public. Francis knew responsibility. With greatness comes expectation. Not just to win, but to represent. France didn't just see Mbappé as a player. They saw him as a mirror of diversity, of discipline, of possibility. And he carried that weight without complaint. Not perfect, but present. Beyond goals and trophies, as numbers increased, Mbappé started thinking differently. What remains after football? What lasts longer than highlights? He invested in community, in youth, in opportunity, quietly, without cameras. Because true legacy isn't announced, it's built. Still running, Kylian Mbappé has not finished his story. He is still running, still chasing something invisible, still ahead of time. Records will fall, debates will continue, opinions will change, but one thing is certain, he was never running away. He was running towards something, and the world was still watching closely. The discipline behind the smile to the world. Mbappé smiles easily, light, relaxed, almost effortless, but discipline is rarely visible. Every morning begins the same way. Controlled meals, stretching routines, mental preparation. There are no shortcuts in his day, no wasted hours, no careless habits. Talent opened the door, routine keeps it open, and that routine has become his quiet edge. Learning to slow down. Speed made him famous, but patience made him dangerous. With time, Mbappé learned when not to run, when to wait, when to draw defenders in. Football slowed down for him. Spaces appeared earlier. Decisions became calmer. The game didn't change. He did. Respect earned, not requested. Opponents stopped mocking. Defenders stopped smiling. Because once you've been beaten at full speed, you remember it. Repeatedly, respect followed naturally. Not through words, not through demands, but through consistency. A future still unwritten. There will be trophies. There will be disappointments. There will be chapters yet untold. But Mbappé understands something few do. The greatest pressure is not expectations from others. It is the expectations you place on yourself. And his are higher than anyone else's. Final words. The run continues from Bondy to the world stage, from promise to responsibility, from speed to purpose. Kylian Mbappé is still running, not from his past, not from the noise, but toward a future that has been waiting for him all along. And somewhere the world continues watching closely. Pressure turns into fuel at some point. Pressure stops feeling heavy. It starts feeling familiar. Mbappé learned how to use it. Every whistle, every criticism, every expectation, he turned them into energy. Where others hesitated, he accelerated. Pressure didn't slow him down. It sharpened him. The discipline of saying no. Fame brings options. Too many? Parties, distractions, easy comfort. Mbappé learned one of the hardest skills in football, saying no. No to shortcuts. No to comfort. No to losing focus. That discipline protected his path when temptation tried to bend it. When speed meets intelligence, speed makes you dangerous. Intelligence makes you unstoppable. With experience, Mbappé stopped relying only on pace. He began reading defenders, anticipating space, creating fear before touching the ball. The game slowed down for everyone else. Still, becoming legends are not finished products. They are processes. Mbappé is not at the end of his story. He is in the middle of it. Still learning, still adjusting, still chasing the version of himself that hasn't arrived yet. And as long as he keeps running forward, history will keep trying to catch up.